Hi, everybody. I'm Beth English. I'm an artist and speaker from Nashville, Tennessee. Just wanted to welcome you here today to a conversation I'm having with my good friend, Sergio Gomez from Chicago. Say hi, Sergio.
Hi, Beth. How you doing? Hi, everybody. Good to see you, my friends, again. This is our second time, right, that we do this, so super happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying having these talks with you and being able to share our thoughts about what it means to be an artist today with our communities in both Nashville and Chicago.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. I was thinking how the world has changed since the last time we were doing this, just a week.
Just a week ago, right? And I think there's a lot that artists need to be hearing right now. And so today I wanted to talk to you about how we can keep our spirit strong as an artist during these times of uncertainty.
Yeah, no, totally. I think this is a great topic.
What have you been doing to stay in the studio, to keep focused, and to keep that creating going?
Absolutely. I've been just like everybody. Kind of like now as the days go by, I'm kind of figuring out, and as I talk to more people like you and others, kind of like the first time that you hear about this, it was like somewhere far away. It was in another place, to happening to other people. We saw it in the news, just like we see every day's news, right? Then it got closer to us, and then when it gets to you, like where you're actually at, and now closings begin, now actually become something real. Like the first thing is like the shock of the moment, right? Like the first day is like, oh my goodness, it's actually happening, and it's here, right? And there's people I know, and yesterday I talked to my dad, and he knows somebody who had already the coronavirus. So now it's becoming like a person's name. And then after that, it's like, okay, now it's about no longer the shock, but it's about the adaptation. How do we adapt? How do we function? How do we work? How do we do what we need to do in order to be productive, to be good members of society, to contribute, to something positive?
And it's happening so fast that I think it's really confusing for a lot of people to know exactly the right thing to do. But I know from the past, like when you're in a new situation, you don't always know the exact best thing to do. So you kind of just do your best. For me, I wanted to share some things today that have helped me in my journey of being an artist. And it's some advice that I learned from a dear friend of mine. His name is Bill Miller. And he's a Native American musician and songwriter, very talented man. And he told me that there's three things that we need to focus on when it comes to creating. And the first thing is to be able to function first. So giving yourself permission to just function. And that means sleep. That means your diet. That means just taking care of yourself and doing whatever you need to do to be able to bring your highest and best self to the work. How does that you function?
Yeah, I know. And that's a really good point, because like the first day, I was in New York when kind of like the whole thing began here in the United States, and then we left New York, we came to Chicago, and then things started happening here too, and then the news broke, and that's I think that was just like Sunday when they started to announce closings and things that we had also lined up for shows, things all we had to cancel. So, the first day was like really hard to function. Like I remember the first night I couldn't hardly sleep, and like, what's going on? You feel like you're missing parts and pieces of yourself that you have no control of. And that's so true, without that functionality, you really can't do much, because your brain is just not geared to think proactively and to think smart about the choices that you need to make. Like a fog.
Yeah, and that's what happens to people who've been through trauma. Their brain, you release hormones and then different amounts of hormones that are not in balance. And so it's really hard to focus and be productive when you're in that fog. So I think in that time period where you are feeling fogginess or you're feeling confusion, just give yourself grace for where you are and know that it's going to change in a matter of days, because that's just the nature of like our body coming back into alignment with how it needs to function. Now, that doesn't mean that new information won't come out that'll send us back into a tailspin, because it will. And so we just have to be aware that this is our body speaking to us, letting us know that we need to care for ourselves even more than maybe we normally do, because when we're in times of high stress, it means extreme self-care. And I know some of us aren't very good at that because we don't either have the time or we have families or whatnot. But I think that if we can just be intentional about how we're caring for ourselves right now, that's going to make a huge difference in the end.
Absolutely. Love that one. I think that's good.
And the second thing that is in this list of 3 was to approach your work with a sense of beauty and do all things with great care and attention, and to be really intentional about bringing that to the work, to just bring that focus and that loving care to it. And that was the next step. And I thought about that a lot. And I think sometimes the work can be difficult, and because our brains, it's just like you said, that fog. But if we're taking care of ourselves and we're just bringing our best to the work, that's all we can do, really. Like, do what we can do.
And probably it kind of helps clean up or clear that fogginess that that comes from that moment of shock to now, as you put your mind on something else, then it kind of starts to bring more sense to the everyday life. And like, I don't know how that has how does that look like for you, but like for me, like something that has really helped me a lot is doing like these videos like this. So I've been doing more videos, talking to more people, and just the fact that I'm now focused on the production and these things, which I love to do, then it now kind of helps me deal with the other stuff, because now my mind is clearer. Now, I purposely not hooked to the news, right? Like I was the first day. I check in the morning, midday, just quick update. Then after 7 o'clock, I don't check the news at all, just to maybe watch a movie at night or do something or just some other activities that completely lets me be me, right? Without that continuous input of information.
You're doing better than me.
How are you dealing with it?
I've just been wanting to constantly connect, because I'm, I live alone. And so in this quarantine, it's just me and my dog. And so I am online, I'm on Facebook and Instagram, I'm on the phone talking, I'm texting, I'm Marco Poloing, I'm on Zoom calls and Skype calls, trying to constantly connect, but it is wearing me out. And I know last night I put away the computer and I was like, I can't do this anymore. But I have done some work where I just do some free writing or cooking, and I noticed just that within a few minutes of just kind of focusing my attention on creating, that I instantly start to feel better. And that gives me a little bit of break from feeling the panic of what's to come.
Right. Which, by the way, I want to try your oatmeal recipe that I saw you mention the other day.
I'm sharing all my recipes on Facebook and Instagram because I love cooking. And so I'm going to just be doing a lot of it since I'll be home, and might as well share kind of like the stuff that I make. So hopefully, cooking and food has always given me a great sense of comfort. And so I delight in it. And if I can, help people delight in the food that they're eating as well, to sort of shift the feelings that are going on within them, then that would be such a big one.
Absolutely. And I think, for all our friends who are watching, if you love poetry, read some poetry, maybe share some poetry. If you love music, play some music, go live and delight us with your music. These are the times in which the human spirit needs to come out and really flourish.
And I think when we see people sharing stories about people sharing music in their, off their balconies, and all
that's
the
amazing
ways that we're live streaming what it is that we do, or having live storybook times with authors. And I think that the creators who are coming together to share their work, it really does help so many people. So if you're watching today, I want you to know that whatever it is that you do to create, to give to the world and to express your inner self, know that it's valuable and that people need it more than ever right now. And so
Absolutely.
please take care of yourself so that you're first functioning, second, that you're giving your attention to the task at hand. And then the third step would be for your spirit, be able to open up and be able to reach people. And I think that this is the essence that drives all of us to create. And that is the result of taking care of ourselves and focusing on the work that we're making. So
Absolutely. No, that is so awesome. So true.
So what are you going to do today to function, bring beauty to your work, and to let your spirit come out of you?
So after this interview, I think I'm doing another one, and I really enjoying those conversations with people, because again, just to find out the stories of how others are dealing with it, it just helps me. So again, we're all stuck at home. I'm still not used to looking at my schedules like, oh, I guess I'm home all day. So I'm like, I have to get used to that, right? So I'm working on a painting that is giving me a lot of trouble. So I'm gonna get back to that and see if I can, start resolving that particular work, and I'm between back and forth, and joining my community, checking with them too, and all that, but trying to find moments here and there to give to myself too, so that we can give to others.
That sounds good. I think I'm going to do some meal prepping. So do a little cooking in the kitchen, and I'm going to go for a long walk in my neighborhood. Yeah. And I live on a lake in Nashville, so I'll probably try to get out in the woods, take some pictures of the trees and everything that's in bloom right now, and then share those online. And I've been doing morning meditations. I've been praying a lot, reading a lot, and just trying to get really still, because I know that I can feel it bubbling up and taking over my mind. And if I can just relax that.
Exactly.
I think that watching videos that, don't have any talking in them, don't have any sound except for maybe the birds singing or the waves crashing, and that really gives me peace too. So
that's awesome. And there's one thing I'm gonna do, which I forgot to mention. I'm gonna check your recipes.
Check them out. I've just started writing them down. I've got more ideas for them. So you guys that are watching, please share with us your tips for how you're taking care of yourself.
Absolutely.
Share your work that you've been creating while you've been at home. I'd love to see what you're doing. And, just connect more on Facebook and Instagram. So
why don't we share our Instagram handles and everything so that people can find us?
Yeah, so you guys can find me at Beth English. That's BETHINGLISH. My last name is spelled with an I. And that's on Facebook and Instagram, and my website's bethenglish.com.
Awesome. And mine is Sergio Gomez Art. That's what you can find me on Instagram, on Twitter. And then you will find me on my website at www.sergiogomezonline.com. I don't know why I didn't make that one the same as the other ones, but that's another story for another topic. For another day.
Topic for another day.
Exactly.
You guys, I know that sometimes it feels confusing where we are. Just give yourself some grace and give yourself some time, and please stay at home, and please be prepared, and please reach out to your friends and loved ones.
Right.
Just know that we're all needing to connect now more than ever. And if you can just make some time to open up and be vulnerable and share what it is that you're feeling, it will give a lot of comfort to those who need it too.
And please let us know if you would like to for Beth and I to have a specific topic of conversation for a future show. Let us know. We would love to address that as well. And as last time, let us know where you're watching from. I forgot to say, Beth, last time we had people watching from around the globe, which was pretty cool. So let us know where you're watching as well. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.